chefs and people that love us make food with so much, effort and intensity that we can't say no. And that's why today's episode, I'm just going to discuss the basics of food and nutrition, difficulties with Afghans, and why it's so hard to maintain a diet like in the Afghan culture. And I will explain it. And I have a series of small videos, well, not small, but they're motivational videos for you guys to watch if you're struggling with maintaining that healthy diet, and if you're doing your best to have meal plans and prep or whatnot, but you find yourself being lazy, or you lack that effort and that motivation. Those videos will really help you a lot. So basically, it's understandable that we all have busy schedules. We're unable to prep, and we're unable to pre-pack meals, and basically put more attention into the food we eat. Nowadays, we have such robotic lives that we have a tendency to choose fast foods over, actually going home, cooking meals, or arranging meals, going and purchasing things and putting them in small containers, and then having a lunch box. And that's just a lot of effort, and it's understandable, but it's also, damaging us from, the internal aspect. And if you think about it, it's very important for you to maintain a good diet, because what you eat is what you are. And it really affects your mental health as well. So not only are you affecting yourself physically, but you're affecting yourself mentally as well by what you eat. So that's why I'm here to tell you today that as hard as it is, you need to put in that effort no matter what, because you come first. And I know that, with the robotic lives, we're also drinking a lot of caffeine, drinking a lot of, Red Bull, a lot of coffee. And what that does is it dehydrates you, because you're not having the sufficient amount of water intake to basically suffice or balance out the amount of dehydration caused by these caffeine-infused drinks like Red Bull and coffee. And I know sometimes people mix both, which is really, really dangerous for your health. So if you are someone who tends to mix, the two, please do not do that, because it does keep you awake, but in the long term, it really affects you. So maybe cut down to just something that works for you, like the Red Bull or whatnot, if you're having difficulty letting go, because they are also very addictive as well. But keep in mind that it dehydrates your bones, it dehydrates you, and you need to at least have 5 cups of water or more to be able to balance out dehydration. Now, majority of us, we make food choices based on enjoyment factors. So basically, if we go somewhere, go to a restaurant, and we have a bunch of food in front of us, like we have butter chicken, or we have pasta, or a big burger, like those mean burgers that you have, these things are all based on enjoyment factors. But in the long run, what happens is that we don't have a tendency to go out and work that out, to go and take care of our fitness, of our health, to be able to have cheat meals like that. But if you're having those type of meals on a daily basis, that's when slowly you tend to fall down. You tend to feel weaker. You have different issues that are created, like you might have a high cholesterol, and sometimes you may even have stomach issues, yet you're still eating greasy, fat food like that. Or even if you think that's some aspect of it may be healthy, there are some parts of it that aren't, and that's what's affecting you. But if you're able, like I said, to maintain a balance, it's very important, and that balance is what may keep you running for a little bit more. So even if you know that you can't put a full stop to unhealthy foods, at least try maintaining a balance. It will make a very big difference in your life. And sometimes we eat foods that taste good, but that don't make us feel good afterwards. So we may eat a meal, like I said, and it may taste really good, but after, we're either in the hospital, or we're either in the bathroom, some of you guys having mean tacos or whatever, and then you have to pay the aftermath in the bathroom, which is not that nice and not that pleasant for the people around you in that household. Please buy freshener. I'm just kidding. But yeah, sometimes we don't know we have a lot of food like that, and then the aftermath is not as great. So why eat food that makes you feel like that from the start? I know some of you may find that it's very difficult to have healthy foods like all that, avocado on top of the bread with like a limited amount of cream cheese on your bread, or having 12 grain bread as opposed to white bread, basic stuff like that. And it's difficult, but trust me, it feels really good when you're putting healthy stuff inside of your system. Over time, you'll find that you actually feel good about yourself, that you feel healthy, and your energy, your positivity, and that, that rush of basically emotions that you have, that changes as well. Believe me, with what you eat. Obviously, temporarily, you feel really good when you have something big like that, like a burger or pasta or McDonald's, Burger King, whatever it may be. But in the long run, it piles up, and then you feel like, what do we say, like a puji, like Afghans. Afghans are the worst at it. Believe me, the amount of qabli, mantu, ashak, and bulani and these things that we have, it's so extreme that's the reason why it's so hard for us to part from that Afghan food, because it tastes so good. And, they make it with so much love and everything that, that we go back to that and we're like, oh, امروز like ایچی رقم نانست یک ذره آشک یک ذره برنج یا قابلی بر ما بیارین. And you feel like there's not food at home. I remember when my brothers were on a diet and I was making food for them, and I tried making like cabbage salad, like coleslaw, and basically like chicken breast, asparagus, stuff like that. And they came home and they were like, okay, where's the food? And I'm like, the food's right in front of you. And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're trying to eat healthy, this is food. And they ate it and they still weren't full at the end. And they were complaining and they're like, no, we need birinj, we'll work it out, we'll go to the gym, we'll just, it's okay for a little bit bulky. Now it's like, you see, you have to sacrifice a little bit. If you stay in that comfort zone that you are in, it's very hard for you to achieve anything to begin with. You have to be willing to sacrifice and compromise certain things if you want to start seeing changes in your health, in your mental health, physical health, and in your body as well, in your physique, your appearance. So you have to be willing to make that sacrifice. Now, obviously, some of us tend to have cravings based on different things, and sometimes that's your body calling out for help for many different reasons. I don't know, many of you may be like me. I have a tendency to be like Paul Blart from Mall Cop, where I just randomly, I just feel this urge to have something sugary. And if I don't, I will drop. Literally like him, I will drop on the ground and nobody can pick me up. And I'm like, I either need Coke or a candy or like chocolate bar, something. And over time, I realized that, if my sugar levels are dropping like that, I have to go to the doctor. And in the meantime, I have to substitute the junk sugar for the healthy sugar, like fruits, different things like honey, having things that are more healthier, as opposed to me going straight to junk sugar stuff to try to make me feel better for that moment. So now I carry snacks, which is, funny because a lot of people laugh at me. They're like, oh, why do you carry snacks in your purse? And I'm like, you don't understand. I will drop. I need to have something on hand. And also because I have a tendency that a lot of us have this and we don't know. What Afghans know as acid mida. So acid mida is basically, that rush of an uneasy feeling that comes up, and sometimes you feel dilbat, you feel nauseated. Sometimes your head hurts. If you don't eat on time, like if you're just waiting and somebody says, let's go to a restaurant and you have to wait 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get there. And if you feel nauseated or you feel like you're getting a headache, and you feel a burning sensation in your chest, and as if your stomach is ripping apart, and I'm trying to give transliterations from Farsi to English to be able to make it more understandable. Amu masale, cheese, those mountain flower names. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to explain that. But yeah, so basically, if you feel like that, you might have acid reflux and you need to go to a gastroenterologist to get it checked. What a gastroenterologist will do is they will do an endoscopy, they'll do a colonoscopy, depending on what your symptoms may be. They will determine your diagnosis after your results and everything, but it's important to go to them because sometimes we don't know what issues we have. Sometimes we may have, like I said, acid reflux. We may have H. pylori. We may be lactose intolerant. Like we may not be able to digest things like yogurt, milk, cheese. And if you feel like you are uneasy after these certain things that you digest and have, for example, pasta with a lot of Parmesan cheese, or if you have cereal and you just can't digest it, or coffee even, then you may be lactose intolerant and you need a substitute for that as well, or to change your milk to maybe almond milk, and just basic stuff like that to make sure that you're not always struggling. Because what these certain stomach issues cause is bloating, diarrhea, gas, nausea, many different feelings that just doesn't make us feel good throughout the day. So you need to make sure that you have these things checked out, because sometimes you may need, acid reducer pills. Sometimes you may have irritable bowel syndrome, where you're not able to just digest anything at all, and you may have an allergy to gluten. I know these things may sound like, oh, it's too much or it's too extreme, but these are the things that sometimes can cause different emotions in you, like anger, frustration. If you're not eating on time and you have acid reflux, or you have, any other issue, that causes anger, that causes frustration, because it's your body reacting to the way it's feeling inside. And sometimes then when you eat, you're like, I'm sorry, I was just hungry. So if you know you're like that, make sure to always keep snacks, by your side at all times. And now just a few other things before the studio. So a few more things before we go on to the Afghan diet, which is the funny part. So before I go to there, I'm just going to mention that chewing and eating slowly is very important while you're eating. So if you know that you have problems after you eat your food, check back and see maybe you ate too fast. I used to have that habit where I used to eat really fast, and I was so happy. I was like, I'm done, guys. I'm done my food. And then after, I was the one crying in the car, and I was like, why did I eat so fast? But chewing slowly, taking your time, helps break down the food, and it helps your digestion better. So make sure that you're chewing and eating slowly. Maybe you can talk in between your food to just make sure that, it helps you eat slower, as opposed to just facing a wall or something. Or you can even watch a show, anything that helps you eat a little bit more slower, because sometimes it's hard for us to change our habits right away. And also to remember that you eat to fuel your body with energy. So just like the way you guys put gas in a car to give it energy to drive, to go places, the same way your body, your stomach, everything inside of you, that's your engine. Whatever you are fueling your body with, that's the same way your body will run. So sometimes we put Supreme gas, or the best, cleanest gas in our car, to make sure that our engine is running perfectly fine with the best performance. And then sometimes we put, the cheapest gas there is. And, sometimes it's not even fit for the car we have, and that breaks it down slowly, affects the engine over time. So food is the same thing. You are fueling your body. You choose what you put in your body. Do you want temporary, basic, energy that lasts you very little? Or do you want a healthy engine, good performance over time that will bring you good results each time you put more and more good things inside of your system? You fuel it with positive things. So remember, food is very important, and nutrition. Food, it affects your cortisol levels so much, and cortisol levels are your stress levels, obviously. And what you eat, if it's a lot of unhealthy, greasy foods like that, we're putting body aside. In general, just your health, it will affect it so much. So you need to make sure that if you can't right away switch to basically having more avocados, focusing on your fiber, on your omega-3, on your fish intake, try having more seafood, and making sure that you're not having too much bread. Make sure that you have flax, for example, flax seeds. There's chia seeds. Make sure that you have a good amount of nuts in terms of walnuts and almonds and stuff like that, things that are healthy for you. You need to make sure that you at least, if you don't have them pre-packed, that you have them in mind throughout the day that you need to have, for example, oh, did I have my nuts today? Did I have fish today? Have a schedule. If you don't know what to do, you can go see a nutritionist, or they're at, any gym you go to, or you can search on YouTube. There's so many different ways to, plan your meals. There's meal plans. I have a lunchbox that has shash tabaqa dara, so it has 6 sections, and I put, for example, nuts in there, maybe khushk like almonds and charmaghs and stuff like that. And then I have my vitamins, and I have like booster stuff that I use for the pre-workout shakes that I have. And then, for example, I'll have a salad of some sort, and every day I try to change my salad. I will have like an avocado salad with chia seeds and sunflower seeds and barberry. And I will have another box with, for example, berries. Berries are very important. They help, they're antioxidants, so they help detoxify your system a lot, and they help with digestion. So make sure that you're having a lot of berries, like blueberries, strawberries. Mix them up in shakes. If you know that you can't sit there and cut everything out right away, a lot of grocery stores actually have pre-cut or ready-made berries, like mixed berries, for you to just drop in a shake and just have. But the point is to just make sure that you're taking steps of some sort. Now, in terms of the Afghan diet, it's so hard to be on a diet with Afghans. بخاطر که وقت که خانه یکی میری and اون نفر بیچاره میمانی کرده، قابلی جور کرده، سبزی که بچه خچری کروت، آشک و منتو and a bunch of food, and تو جمعیدی and میگی که ما در رژیم هستم. خب واضح است یک چیز معلومی دار است که اون نفر بسیار خفه میشه, and they will force you to eat the food because they took so much time out to make all that food. And they're like, بیشی قدر خدا کاکا فکر نکو، نان بخو، امروز در رژیم هستی، برو یک روز دیگر رژیم تکو، یک جای دیگر رژیم تکو. ضروری نیست که ایجاد سالاد بگیری و کباب بیجا یک انواع اقسام نان جور کردیم بگی نان بخو. And you're just there like, okay, I can't ruin my diet. So in situations like this, if you don't want که non-limited بگیری با سب و رو بگه کانی و مچم تلفون بازی and all these things just because خودت کوشش میکنی که لاغر باشی or در یک رژیم بری یا صحتمند باشی. So if you want to avoid problems like that, what I suggest is for you to, I think we should start this with Afghans is to just call someone ahead of time and say, hey, like if they're individually inviting you, not if they're just inviting a bunch of people. If they're individually inviting you, for you to call them and let them know that, hey, just for health reasons, I'm on a certain diet or whatnot. خزامت نکشین. If you want, we can do maybe like a potluck, or I could bring some stuff. I could bring some salad, some chicken breast, some kebab, healthy stuff that we can all share and just have together, as opposed to you sitting there صبح تا شب دیگ کاسکو and everything just for me to come and have salad and kebab and then اعصابت خراب شوه and then قطع برید کنین and رو کنی شوه. So just try and say it to people and be like, hey, listen, let's just take it a little bit easy. We'll have, very basic stuff. We'll enjoy خودت هم زامت نکش یا هم زامت نکشه, stuff like that. I think we should start in the in the Afghan community, because it would make things a lot easier. بخاطر که من میفهم بسیار سخت است برای افغانا که آدم رژیم بگیره، بخاطر که for some reason we're put down وقتی که کوشش میکنیم که یک رژیم بگیریم که حالا چیز ضرور است که لاغر شوی، جور هستی، اما قدر که گوشت داری خوب هستی، نمودت میته. Things that people say, they kind of put a barrier on you trying to find a source of motivation and to continue doing what you're doing. Because basically you start feeling comfortable, and sometimes when you like to explain yourself, it comes as you being defensive, and then it just doesn't work out. So that's why I suggest that maybe we bring a little bit of changes in terms of memories and whatnot if we're all trying to be healthy and share that level of basically awareness with everyone else and help everyone else also be healthy. You can have a bunch of food, you can have lots of food, but healthy food, things that will help you and actually قزامت کار نداره. So if you just keep that in mind, you know, it would make a big difference. Maybe we could start this trend. I don't know. We are just going to play a video about driving with an Afghan mom because I know we're talking about something serious, so I want to pop you out of it temporarily just so you guys laugh a little in case I failed at that, which I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's from SR Bros Entertainment. And it's a video of driving with an Afghan mom, and it's very funny because I go through that, but not with my mom, with like my aunts and with like my grandma sometimes, and it's really funny. So I hope you guys laugh and watch that video. So we're going to ask our director to play the first video.
دسترگو بلاواخلم
بریم
کجا بریم؟
بریم یک گاراژ سیل میرم 4 تا ببین گاراژ سیل پیدا شد بریم چل چطور بویی میتم موتره چیکه چطور است موتره دون است تا بدون چطور تیز میری است تا بدون
مادر ما
پلیس گیت میکنه من چی خواهد زنگ موتر شد بوی میتم مادر موتر فقط یک درخت داره یک درخت داره 25 برو
این سرک هست تک 35 ما بازم از خاطر شما ده 25
stop sign منو میکشی دار بخور دیگه دار بخور بس محترمه
مادر او از خود استاپ ساین داره
دوان صحیح بدوان سیده برو
مادر من سیده میرم مادر
هیچ نمیفهمی تو هیچ درایوینگ یاد نداری تو هیچ درایوینگ
مادری تو نگه من کلان شدم خوب نیست بر از من تو گپا میزنی
کلان شدی
مادر بالا خود نزن مرکت من ریش دارم سعی کنن ریش
اگر ریشت تا پایتم برسه بازم هیچ نمیفهمی صرف اولاد نالایق سرخ بود اصلا برو پلیس هست
مادر او پلیس نیست و تاکسی است
بر دخترت از خود شور میده بر دخترات از خود شور میده موتر از چیز ده نمیتانی عینکای تبکش چیز ده نمیتانی ببین
مادر او استاپ ساین داره از خود استاده شدم اونجا
نفر است
مادر او نفر نیست او درخت است مادر ما گوش نستم بریم جای بریم نان بخوریم
گوش نستی؟ ما با چای آوردیم برای چای مینشی باشه استاپ ساین فقط باشه استاپ ساین است برو دست دور بخوری
موتر است موتر میایه
آفرین من ترامیتو میدیدم که تو میرفتی یعنی آفرین بسیار خوب هیچ وقت که درایو میکنی به تلفن گپ نزنی خب هلو سلام علیکم نه وس نو خپل ډرایور سره په خپل پراری کیم او وس ما سره پراری ده و
فراری ما ای
پراری بچه کیست؟
مادر رفقم است
اینه چی میکنی؟
مادر رفقم است اینجا مادر رفقم است مادر
How you been doing, bro?
Doing good, man.
You still on the C block, bro? You still repping?
No.
What happened, bro? I thought you were in for life.
هیچ مرا نگفتی کی رو میاری
مادر این تنها خانش
اگر
میرسانم
میگفتی من نمیامدم هیچ
Ain't even nothing bumpy here, bro. Let me get the octopus.
Hey, don't touch!
Calm down, man.
دوزی میکنی
مادر
دوزی میکنی کد موتر بزنش
Hi guys, welcome back to the Eva Show, the show dedicated to the youth of today. Today's topic is about food and nutrition, and it's just basic stuff that I mentioned. It's not an in-depth explanation of the importance of food and nutrition, just basic stuff to get you motivated and thinking about food and nutrition. Stuff like how it affects your cortisol levels, how it affects your energy levels, your mental health, your physical health, and why it plays such a big role in you maintaining your physique and your body, because like they say, 20% of abs are made in the gym and 80% are made in the kitchen, which is very true. But obviously food and nutrition is important in the long run. Making sure that you maintain a healthy diet, especially in the Afghan culture. I know it's very hard with the foods we have and the amount of things we eat and how delicious they are. It's very hard. Especially within میمانیز, if you're someone who has a tendency that, فامیلایتان بسیار زیاد میمانی خودشان میگیرن و attend میکنن، بسیار زیاد سخت است، من میفهمم. اما like I said, why don't we start a new trend where we can all share healthy food and basically try که قدر هر کس دیگه مزاحمت نکشن، کلگی یک جایی بتانن که یک دایت بسیار خوب پیش ببرن. This is how we motivate one another. And if you think that you lack that motivation, you yourself should be enough to be motivated. بخاطر که in the future, there's going to be no one else that will support you. I know that you may have your family, your children, or your parents around you. But one thing I will tell you is that in the long run, you are by yourself. No matter how many people you're surrounded by. بخاطر که the only person who will care for you immensely and unconditionally is yourself. So you need to make sure that you are healthy. که در هیچ جایگاه یا در هیچ کدام وقت زندگیت احتیاج نمانی بر کسه و یه از حال شروع میشه که خودت یک رژیم خوب بر خود جور کنی، نان صحت یعنی صحی بخوری، خود صحتمند نگاه کنی. And this can only happen if you start from now. Basic stuff. ضرور نیست که تو راستن افغانا یک خاصیت دارن. من میفهمم که وقتی که یک عرسی یا یک محفل میشه بر یک ماه هیچ چیز نمیخورن، بیخی خود گشنه نگاه میکنن بخاطر که باش که ما لاغر شم. اتفاقا که روزه را وقتتر میارن اما شب بسیار یک چیز کم میخورن و حوصله هیچ ندارن، اعصابا بسیار خراب است و صرف از خاطر که میخوان یک کمک وزن ببازن یا لاغر باشن برای یک محفل یا یک عروسی. اما بسیار مهم است که در عروسی خودت بسیار خوش و آرام و محفل بدانی که به خوشی تیر کنی، انجوی کنی. و من نمیگم که در این حالتی که این رژیما را البته مردم میگیرن که خوش نیستن، اما بازم یعنی طریقای دیگه است. ضرور نیست که آدم اگه بخواد که لاغر شوه هیچ چیزی نخوره در طول روز، باز یک دفعه در وقت شب نان بخوره. میتونه یک انسان که در طول روز 6 دفعه نان بخوره، actually او رقمی زیادتر وزن آدم میبازه وقتی که 6 دفعه در روز آدم نان بخوره، اما چیزهای مختلف. ضرور نیست که صرف در یک وقت فرضاً یک چیز بسیار قوی یا گرنگ آدم بخوره و خواب شوه. و مهم نیست که بعد از 7 بجه و شام که میشه ات یک چیز ثقیل آدم نخوره که تو میده تا کمک آزار بده، یا بعد از اکثرا شب زیاد کسا اکسرسایز نمیکنن یا ورزش نمیکنن و مهم است که در بین نان و نیوتریشن و کل چیز آدم اکسرسایز هم کنه، بر فتنس و بر کل چیز او رقمی هم توجه کنه بخاطر که کل چیز like they're hand in hand. So basically, if you are eating healthy, if you're focusing on your nutrition, it's important for you to also work out. And just basic stuff, like you can even go on a walk or go for a run. Just something to help digest the food better, to have some activity. Because when you sit down, when you eat and then you sit and you sleep, you nap, or you have no activity after you eat, how is your body supposed to have that faliat or that ability to be able to break down the food inside of your system? You're lucky if you have an extremely fast metabolism, but otherwise, it's very difficult for your body to break down food like that, especially as you grow older. So you need to make sure that you have some sort of activity, whether it's running, whether it's riding a bike, or just doing something in general for your body to have that energy and that ability to break down the food that you're having. So مهم نیست که بعد از اینکه شما نان میخورین که شما خاو نکنین، نشینین راسن. اگه بتانین بعد از نان قدم زدن برین، بعد از نان راسن چای نخورین، یا میوه یک کمک مدت بتین بعد از او اگه میخواستین که یک ذره میوه بخورین، میوه‌جات یا یک چای سبز خالی. if you want to cut down on sugar هر چقدر بوره کم بخورین اونم قدر بهترتر است بر شما. so I know that افغانان بسیار عادت دارن که چای شیرین هم میخورن. so اگر بوره را یک you know it's a start، یک شروع، یک beginning است بر شما که اگر شما بوره را قطع کنین از امون دایتتان، از رژیمتان. and در صبحکی هم در وقت صبح وقتی که کافی میخورین اگر میتونین تلخ بخورین. این همه تو چیزاست که آستا یک دیفرنس میاره یا یک تغییرات بسیار مثبت میاره. چیزای خرد ریزه که آدم فکر میکنه که هیچ تغییرات نمیاره، اکثریت وقت اونموست که بسیار یک دیفرنس کلان میکنه. sugar basically بعد از نان که after you eat you know you have some sort of activity، بعد از نان که آدم فعالیت می داشته باشه، این چیزا بسیار زیاد یک تاثیرات مثبت میاره بر خودتان و شاید به خانواده و فضای خانه کلی دیگه بسیار زیاد تشویق شود که زیادتر کوشش کنه سر خود وقتی که میبینن که یک شخص در خانه سر صحت خود کوشش میکنه. بسیار تاثیرات مثبت میاره بر امو خانواده و امو فامیل و امو فضای خانه. دیگه اگر میخواین که یک کمک سیستمتان رو دیتاکسیفای کنین، if you want to detoxify your system a little bit, you can have water, hot water in the morning with lemons. It helps a lot. It basically breaks through all of the fat and like the charbou and the grease of your you know inner system of your stomach. اگر در وقت صبح شما یک گیلاس او جوش خالی همراه یک کمک لیمو you know mix کنین بخورین، بسیار زیاد یک تاثیرات خوب میاره. Flax seeds, having flax seeds in your food, in your salads, in even your drinks, it makes a very big difference. It helps with the fiber and it also helps with your digestion levels. Grapefruit really is amazing for weight loss. So if you want to maybe add grapefruit to your drinks, to your shakes, or just have it by itself, it makes a very big difference. And a really good thing that I use personally every single day, I can't live without it. I always have it. People who have me on Snap know exactly what I'm talking about. I usually put water and cucumber slices with mint and ginger and lime. I put it inside of my water bottle with water, and I usually leave it for like an hour or two, or sometimes even overnight in the fridge. And then in the morning I drink it and it helps amazingly. Like it's great. Your metabolism, just the way you feel in general, you feel very clean inside, and you feel very refreshed. It's a very refreshing drink as well. So you guys maybe can try that out. And ginger is what helps with your basically the digestion and the weight loss. And cucumber is amazing for your skin. Mint is amazing for your skin, and it's also good for weight loss and digestion as well. So things like this that can make a very big difference. For example, if you're looking for fat, like healthy fat, you can go for avocados and bananas, maybe mix it with bread in the morning. I know some of us are very used to that Tim Hortons life or Starbucks life where in the morning we just have a drive-through and we go and pick up stuff. So maybe you can leave, for example, at night you can leave avocado slices with banana slices, or not banana because kharab misha. You can leave like avocado slices and just ready-made things in small containers in the morning so that you could just toast a bread, put it on top and leave. And grab it in like an aluminum foil or just a paper towel or whatever you can, and just leave the house, but just make sure you're eating something. Always have that drink, like I said, the cucumber, mint, lime, and ginger with a water bottle inside of your fridge so that even when you leave in the morning, even if you grab coffee on the way, like I said, to make sure you're hydrated and that whatever you do eat that may be a little bit heavy, and you know, to keep that balance, to have that drink with you to help with the digestion and your metabolism. And also to make sure that you visit the doctor, because sometimes we may have medical issues that cause problems with weight loss and weight gain, and with things that, you know, our metabolism as well. For example, thyroid. hypo and hyperthyroidism. They cause a lot of digestion issues and a lot of issues with weight loss and weight gain as well. So you want to get that checked. Like I said, issues like GERD, acid reflux, H. pylori, being lactose intolerant. These things also affect, your digestion, irritable bowel syndrome. So you want to make sure that you have all those ruled out. You go to the doctor, sometimes you may have high cholesterol and you don't know it. So you want to work towards that as well. And you don't have to, obviously, if your level of cholesterol is really high, then they will medicate you and put you on prescription pills to bring it down a little bit, because you're at high risk of a heart attack or many other possible issues. But to make sure that if your cholesterol is somewhat at risk, then there's many different ways that you can actually bring it down. Like I said, through lemon water, through these detoxifying drinks that hopefully, if you guys like this episode, I will put a part 2 on another Thursday, and I will actually give you guys like full drinks, like detoxifying drinks, meal plans, and those kind of things if you guys are interested in this subject of today's episode. So waiting on your response. Obviously, I will decide whether to do that or not, and I think it's very helpful. But yeah, just basic stuff like that, making sure that you're ruling out different things, taking care of your stomach, taking care of your physical health, of your appearance as well, your mental health, and caring for yourself, self-love. Food and nutrition has a big role to play with self-love as well. So if you love yourself and you want to stay healthier longer, then please make sure that you are careful about what you eat. Take that extra 5 minutes, go home and try to eat something really healthy. Keep snacks with you, keep drinks with you. Keep an ice box if you have to in the back of your car and put healthy drinks in there, or blueberries, or small stuff, and you can put it in an ice box and just keep it stored there or away from the heat and the sun. Now we are going to go and watch a motivational video for anyone who finds that they have difficulty finding a source of motivation, or they're very lazy. So these videos hopefully will help you, and I hope that you enjoy it. So don't go anywhere. After the videos, we will end the episode. So I'm going to say bye ahead of time. Thank you for tuning in and watching the Eva Show. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please watch the video, get motivated, and start loving yourself, because nobody else will, just like the way you will.
And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us.
The one thing we have in this world is we can't control the events, but we can choose what to focus on, we can choose what things mean, and we can choose what to do. Those three choices, those three decisions really control our life.
You can always make a decision. That's always in your control. Staying with somebody that treats you like garbage is a decision. It is. Staying at a job that you hate is a decision. Staying in the body that you are not proud of is a decision. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy to change. It's simple. It's your job to push yourself.
It's not the smartest people who achieve success. It's the people who procrastinate less, make fewer excuses, as they take actions every day towards the goals that they want to achieve.
Indecision is the thief of opportunity. Indecision means the door is still closed. Indecision means the opportunity waits. Indecision means what could be is postponed or may never be.
If you want to be successful at anything in life, never leave the sight of setting a goal without doing something that commits you to fulfillment.
The next morning, the alarm goes off, and I pretended NASA was there. It's the stupidest story. I literally went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted out loud, and then I stood up. And I'll never forget standing there in my bedroom. It was dark, it was cold, it was winter in Boston. And for the first time in 3 months, I had beaten my habit of hitting the snooze button. There were moments all day long